Most of us parents know that generally music is really good for brain development. But did you know that some brain scientists think that it's as important educationally as reading or writing? So the question is, how do you get your child started with music learning? Through research and interviews, we have learned that so many parents love the idea of music sets until they don't. They don't want noisemakers that just, they don't sound great, or electronic toys that do all the work for the child where they're pushing buttons, or instruments that are so sophisticated that your child gets frustrated and gives up. I am so excited to introduce the music set. We set out to create the very best music set, to introduce foundational music with real instruments that are fun to play and that always sound good. And like everything we do at Lovevery, we worked with experts and academics and researchers. We sourced the very best materials and applied a stage-based approach. There's so many benefits to a music-rich environment for like speech development and spatial reasoning, early math and pattern recognition, and self-regulation and impulse control. This music set brings all that learning to life. So why should you invest in this music set? Is it really worth it? There are 3 main reasons why this music set is totally worth the investment. Number 1, it's full of real instruments, like these pentatonic pat bells that play beautiful notes. Everything in this set is harmonious because each item uses that pentatonic scale. And we applied color coding, matching each note to a color across all the instruments, so it becomes a consistent learning system. C is always red, D is always orange, E is always yellow, and so on. So your child, before they really know the names of notes, they can play a song right away by color matching. 2, we designed this set for real music learning. It's the perfect on-ramp to understanding rhythm and reading notes and building compositions that will set your child up for wherever their musical interests will take them. The Rhythm and Songbook starts by teaching rhythm in a way that will feel a lot like learning syllables. You can see how apple or avocado are made up of beats, and it teaches rest beats too, which is a really important part of musical composition. Your child will also love playing songs with the color-matched song cards. So color can be a really effective tool to bridge the gap between wanting to play and being able to play and read sheet music. And it's just so approachable. What's also special about this songbook is that it's a tool for your child to make up their own songs, so they can flip and create an interesting zigzag or pattern. And now they have a song that they've written themselves that they can play on the pat bells or the pan flute. Number 3, it includes a stage-based guide that walks you through what music learning looks like from 18 months all the way through age 4. Everything in this set is designed to stay interesting as your child progresses from free play to keeping a beat to playing with tones and notes. And since we made it for this wide age range, we built everything to withstand so many years of play. Let's take a closer look at the instruments. We knew that if we really wanted this set to be a foundational kit, we had to include a metronome. This is a real working one that keeps the beat and matches the tempo numbers you see in real sheet music. One of the hardest things in learning music is knowing that soft doesn't mean slow and loud doesn't mean fast. And so the ability to maintain that steady beat while playing different volumes or notes, it takes a lot of self-control. So with the metronome, your child will know right away if they're off beat. So what does play with a metronome look like at each stage? By 2, your child can start clapping every time the metronome clicks, or jumping every time they see the light go on. By age 3 or 4, your child may be able to match a slow tempo with the concertina, like pulling it out on one beat and pushing it back in on the next. And 4-year-olds can try identifying different musical speeds when they listen to a song, so it can be so fun to try and sing the same song first at a slow speed and then at a fast speed. I really love this animal metronome because it's just such a smart way for your child to understand this concept of tempo, which is complicated and foundational to music. Next up, I'd like to tell you about the pentatonic pat bells. So what does pentatonic really mean? It's a musical scale, a simple ancient scale consisting of 5 notes, instead of an octatonic scale with 8 notes. We chose this scale because these 5 notes always sound good and harmonious, no matter how you play them. So just listen to how nice they sound. So why bells? Oftentimes children go to the piano, and it's an approachable instrument because children can walk up to it and make noise right away. But these pet bells are even more approachable for young children because they don't require the fine motor skills your child needs to position their fingers on the piano keys properly. And because notes always sound good together, your child will feel like they're really making real music. The bells can accommodate multiple children playing at once, side by side, and they're removable because we know that when children get their whole body involved in music, they really love learning. This pan flute has small ribbons on the end that move when you blow. So children actually have to learn how to blow, and visual feedback from this instrument is really helpful for young children, like 18-month-olds. For 2-year-olds, this instrument will be a lesson in breath control as they inhale through their nose and exhale through their mouth to play a note or try to blow a long legato or short staccato notes. And if they want to be really silly, singing into the holes of this makes it sound like a kazoo. For 3-year-olds, the play guide has some really great self-control games to try with the pan flute, like a game of freeze, dance, or dancing while you play music and stopping while the music stops. Both the pan flute and the pet bells have these same 5 pentatonic notes in common. So your 4-year-old may be able to play songs with the color match cards. This concertina may look familiar. It's similar to an accordion. The Lovevery Simple Concertina is uniquely designed to be easier for children to use because it doesn't have those buttons on the side. Instead, it plays one of 2 C major chords, depending on whether you're compressing or expanding it. So here's a C on the pan flute, and here it is on the concertina. The simplicity of the concertina makes it a great instrument for starters, even 18-month-olds. They think it's so fun to hold both ends and push and pull them apart, and this works their gross motor and bilateral coordination. Plus, you can try using the concertina as a way to practice mindful breathing, matching the movement of inhales and exhales. These are the loud and quiet stackable shakers. We created shakers that sound great together or apart. One is full of bigger beads, so it's louder, and the other has smaller beads for a softer, quieter sound. And they can be stacked, rolled, tapped, or shaken. At 18 months, your child may want to bring them together, which is a way that they learn about cause and effect. At 2, you can play a game by shaking one behind your back to see if your child can guess whether it was the loud shaker or the quiet shaker. And at 3, your child can work on isolating the movement just to their wrist, and they'll feel like a pro. There's so many ways to play with this percussion instrument. On the wooden handle, it can be shaken to a beat, but the jingle bracelet is removable, and kids will love to wear it on their wrist or their ankle to connect their movements to their sounds. So with the jingle bracelet on, they can have this auditory feedback that helps build this concept of proprioception, which is their sense of where their body is and how it moves in space. And as they get older, it's a great instrument to pair with a shaker for all that percussion play. And this wooden handle, it's so fun. It also makes a great pretend microphone for your little star. All together, we're so proud of this foundational music set and all the joy we hope it will bring to your home.